Here's the Yom Yom for today. When my father concluded the entire Yom Yom, these are sayings by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. When my father, he's talking about his father, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe was the sixth Rebbe. Before him, there was the fifth Rebbe. It says, when my father, the fifth Rebbe of Chabad, is called Rabbi Shalom Dovber, when he concluded the entire Talmud for the third time, he said a Hasidic discourse on the topic of what does it mean to repeat the Talmud. During the year of mourning for his mother, the previous Rebbe's mother who passed away, right, Reverend Rivka, she also passed away on Yud Shvat. And my father concluded the entire Mishnah at the end of the 11th month. He finished the whole Mishnah and the entire Talmud at her yortzeit. In other words, he was learning constantly, and he finished the whole entire Talmud. That's an epic achievement that he finished it in the course of 1 year to to sanctify the whole year that his wife was not alive. I'm sorry. That's the Frierdiker, previous Lubavitcher Rebbe's grandmother, his mother. She was the wife of the fourth Rebbe. There's a lot of stories about her. Okay, that was Friday. In other words, learning Torah to commemorate and to sanctify the passing away of a person, of a Jew, is a very good thing. Learning Torah, that really, I say, aggrandizes the name, sanctifies the name and the deeds of a person who passed away, to learn Talmud. Therefore, it's a custom that when you go to, if someone passes away, God forbid, so you go to their house to comfort the mourners, and they usually have a list of Mishnayot. So you take a Mishnah and you learn it so that you finish the whole tractate, all of the Mishnayot within a month. And here we see that the fifth Rebbe of Chabad, he finished all of the Mishnayos. He took it all on himself and he finished them. Oh, pretty amazing. Okay, here we have. Here's tomorrow. Tomorrow. This is Shabbos. This is today, and here we have tomorrow, Shabbos. Here we go. When my grandmother, Rebbetzin Rivka, was 18 years old. So this is the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe speaking. The sixth Rebbe was speaking. And he's talking about his grandmother, she was married to the fourth Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Shmuel. So she was a very special person. But in any case, she fell ill, and the doctor ordered her to eat immediately after she woke up. But she didn't want to eat food before she prayed in the morning. Because eating food is, even though it's necessary, but it still is, how do you say, benefiting yourself. And when you pray, you want to, first thing in the morning, you want to only think about God. So she didn't want to eat before praying. So she prayed, woke up very early, unusually early. Let's say every morning she would wake up at 6. So instead of eating beforehand, so she would wake up every morning at 5, and then she would pray, and then she would eat at the time when the doctor told her to eat, which what it would be after her prayer. So she would daven very early and eat breakfast. What's wrong with that? When her father-in-law, the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rebbe of Chabad, when he learned about this, he said to her, a Jew has to be healthy and strong. The Torah says you should live in them. Means bringing vitality into the commandments. Live in them, you should put life into the commandments. In order to put life into the commandments, and in order to be, I say, dynamic and active, you have to be strong and you have to be happy. And then he said, you should not be without food. It's better to eat for the sake of praying than to pray for the sake of eating. In other words, if she's going to be praying, she woke up early in order to pray. Why? So that she could eat after praying. So it ends up, she was, one of the thoughts in her mind when she was praying was, in addition to how good God is and how loving God is and how powerful God is, and also she'll be thinking about how good the piece of cake is going to be and how good it's going to be, that little sip of orange juice or whatever she's going to drink afterwards. It'll be, 1/100th of her prayers while thinking about food. So you shouldn't do that. It's better to eat in order to pray than to pray in order to eat. Then he blessed her with a long life. She was born in 1833, and she passed away on Shvat, which is 1914, which means she was, 81 years old, which in those days it was old. My father told this teaching of the Temak Tzedek to somebody at Yechidus, and he said, and when you do this, when you eat, in order to pray, you have to do it happy. Don't think, okay, I'll do it because the Rebbe told me to do it, but I would rather not eat anything before I, and in the Shulchan Aruch it says you're not supposed to eat. It says, but if it's a matter of health, then you should eat. It's better to eat in order to pray than pray in order to eat. And now I'll tell you a story.